Okie dokie. 12 questions from the internet. What would you do or feel if you were refused entry to somewhere because of what you were wearing? Now, I have been, and I have been refused entry because I'm plus sized, which was illegal, but that's the way it goes. I did actually file a complaint about the plus size one, and it didn't go anywhere because the place ran itself into the ground, being an elitist bunch of morons in a city that doesn't go for that. So, it was nice to see them go bankrupt. But how did I feel being refused entry for what I was wearing? I didn't really care. At the time, I figured, if they don't want people that wear normal human being clothing, then I don't want to be in here, basically. Have you been in a situation when someone abnormal or something abnormal happened and you still have no answer for what had happened? Yes. So I was visiting mom in the care home. I visited her every day, by the way, in the care home. I walked over there and saw her every single day. There's this really short blonde woman, very slight build, and she said, your mother tells us she loves you even though she doesn't say it to you, because she never did really. And at this time, she was uncommunicative. She couldn't talk, and I'm like, and I walked in. I figured, she's just trying to make me feel good, and I walked in and visited mom. Then I came out, and this was in the middle of a shift period, by the way. They wouldn't have changed shifts by then. I asked the nurse who was at the desk on my mom's ward about the woman, and I said she was rather slender build, fairly short, only about 5 foot, and has blonde hair. And she says, nobody like that works here. She said, I've been working here for 10 years, and I've never seen anybody like that on the ward. She was the support staff generally wear different looking outfits, so it wasn't a support staff member either. So yeah, I've got no explanation as to what the heck happened there, but it was simply amazing. So I will never forget it. What is something that has been getting worse, getting more scary lately, that is? What is something that is getting more scary lately? Crime. Petty crime in my city is gone through the roof. There are literally people who walk down the street in the middle of the day with a cart, a pull cart or a shopping cart, going into yard after yard after yard. They're just going door to door into the yards and trying to find anything they can carry away to sell. So you literally see them, and they've got the cart full of stuff, right? That they've stolen. They're usually meth heads or crack heads. So there's lots of meth and lots of crack in this city. I mean, a lot of it. So it's frustrating as hell to see, but that's the way to go. Violent crime is actually on the rise as well, and that's fairly scary. But violent crime seems to be between 16 and 35 years of age, where they're doing damage to each other like that. Anywho, how come we will never know the truth? Because we can't. Our brains aren't geared to be able to know an absolute truth. We can assume something is a truth, even if it is or isn't. We can't prove that it is, basically. But we filter everything through our own version of reality, and because of that, there's no universal truth that is available. There are things there are things that we can all that well a lot of us can agree with, and but are they truths? They're just accepted theory, basically. Truth is something that's very hard to define perfectly in one way, and then it's just really impossible to know. I suppose maybe there's a being out there in the universe or beyond that knows the truth, but it's not a human being. The last human being has just died. What is your best guess at the date of this event? Okay, I'm going to go November 24th, 2124. I don't think we're going to live more than another 100 years. I really don't think so. Way before that 100 years is over, but maybe 50, 60 years from now, we're going to be having global conflicts over resources. So, mostly water and stuff. Yibbers, what is the weirdest thing you've ever come across on the internet? Okay, it was in the 1990s, okay? There was a webcam. Webcam sites in the time didn't stream live video. They streamed shots, photos. It would take a photo and then it would wait a certain amount of time and then update the photo again. I knew several people that had that going on, and there were some interesting things that we saw now and then, but that's another story. But this most interesting thing on the internet, or the weirdest thing on the internet, that is, it was in a grave. They had a light and a webcam inside an actual grave, and it was transmitting to the internet. Picture every 30 seconds. It would update every 30 seconds. No, it wasn't. It was every 30 minutes, that is. It had updated the photo. And it was a real human body that was in a slight state of decay. The project was to show a body rotting in the grave, basically. The government, this was in the United States, the government ended up shutting down the feed. So, yeah. How do you imagine life in 100 years? Extinct. I think we're going to be extinct as human beings in 100 years. And I think the world will be getting along fine without us, and much improving as the years go by without us. Do you think it's okay for people to never want children? Oh, hell yes, I never wanted children. Which is okay because I couldn't have one. I'm shooting blanks. Anyways, but yeah, if I ever did get in a relationship that lasted more than 3 months, I guess we could have adopted, but I just never wanted children. I saw, even way back when I was in my 20s, the way the world was going to hell. And I thought it would be wrong to bring a child into this world, basically. And I was pretty much correct. So, do you think it is okay? Okay, I just read that one. How old do you think the Earth is? About 4.5 billion years. give or take a billion years. So, yippers. Uh-huh. What is there in what is there? What the hell? I can't read this. What is there? What if? I thought I was missing a word. What if there is no afterlife and the end is the final end of life? Then I'm wrong about my idea that there is an afterlife for us and that we go on to a better place and a better existence and a better life. And I'll never know I'm wrong, will I? So, some people think believing in an afterlife is wasting your life somehow. And I can't see how that is because you're not changing anything in your life to believe in an afterlife. At least I'm not. I lived a full life with all the things that some religions call sin involved in my life. But if I'm wrong, I'll never know, will I? So there's no wastage there. It gives me comfort, a lot of comfort to think that there's an afterlife. So, how would humanity react to aliens coming to Earth? Now, this is an interesting question because there would be several different types of reaction. Most people would lose their minds. They would literally freak out. There'd be a lot of religious people just go absolutely crazy because they would think it is something to do with the end times and demons. Strange, there in the end days there will be strange things in the sky, that sort of thing, right? Some people will want to destroy them, and they'll be very afraid and want to destroy them. And other people will be very accepting and want to have contact with them. But the idea here is, what would the government do? Now, there have been unexplained objects that didn't appear on the description of these objects, didn't appear to be something that would be man-made. That the government of my own country and the United States have shot down that we know of. It's interesting to think that most of these things were shot down over land, and they never told us the result of analyzing the debris. So, there were a few things that were literally Chinese probes, but there was a bunch of stuff they never released what they were. Never. Just read that. Last question. What is your biggest political wish? A one-world government. Now, I know a lot of people that lose their minds over the thought of a one-world government. And to say the least, they want every country in the world to have the same political system as them and the same social structure as them, but they don't want to have a one-world government for some reason. Now, I've heard all kinds of things about checks and balances, and if we had a one-world government, it would all go to hell immediately. What? But I think it's quite possible that a one-world government with a democratic socialist attitude toward governing would be a very good thing. I mean, the whole idea of the Star Trek utopia and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyways, have a good day, and keep smiling.